Hi guys, how's it going? Hope everyone's good. Fish is very happy. Why are you so happy, Fish? Hope you're doing well. Hope you've had a nice weekend. Bagwell says score prediction. Could be anything, man. It could be anything. I don't know if you saw the what was it? Bayern Auckland game. That was 10-0. I don't think this one will be 10-0, but let's see. Johnny 69, 69, 69, 69, 53, 26, 54. I need to learn that number off by heart eventually. I think if I say it enough, I'll probably memorize it. It says hi everybody. How are you, Johnny? Hope you're well. How's the girlfriend search going? I hope that's progressing quite nicely. Benjamin says hi. How you doing, Ben? DJ with the slot emotes. Very nice, very nice. But yeah, I hope everyone's had a good weekend. I'm finding it way too hot, to be honest. But that's life. Fish says Europa League. Have I written Europa League in the title? I hope not, because then that would be very silly of me. I don't think I have. No, I'm good. This is Club World Cup, so even worse than the Europa League. Ben says, when will Wirtz have medical and signing? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Do you know? Good question. Last I've heard, it's dependent on whenever he comes back from holiday. So he's on holiday right now, because he finished the season late. So he finished after the Nations League. There's so many kind of bloody tournaments at the moment. You're like, was it the Nations League? Which one was it? Yeah. So he finished the season late. Ben thinks it could be Monday. Do you think it'll be tomorrow? As in Monday tomorrow, or next Monday? I reckon it will be sometime next week. Kind of whenever he gets back from holiday. You reckon it'll be tomorrow? Let's hope so. The sooner the better. Fish says Tuesday is Europa League qualifying. Is that like the very first? Is that like the very first game? Kind of thing. Is your team playing there, Fish? Gornik Zabje. I've been researching your team, Fish, and apparently your team beat Man United in 1967. So there you go. Ben says followed you. Appreciate that, Ben. Appreciate that. Johnny's not single anymore. So there's been progression since last week. That's good to hear. Well, congratulations, Johnny. Definitely happy for you. Happy that has worked out quite well. Charlie Dolby Adventures 3 says Liverpool's the best in the world. You're right about that, Charlie. And the biggest fan of Liverpool FC. Very nice. Very nice. Good to hear, man. Good to hear. Have you got a favourite player, Charlie? Have you got a favourite player? Have you got a favourite era? Or do you just like Liverpool in general? Fish says Google. Fish is already putting me to work, man. He's already putting me to work. Go on then. Let me fix that. Europa League qualifying. I'll adjust the view in a second. Well, here is the Here is the information courtesy of Fish. The 2025-2026 Europa League first qualifying round will be held on Tuesday. So Fish was correct. Fish knows what he's talking about. He does sometimes say ballerina cappuccina, but other times he knows what he's talking about. Is your team in that fish? Gornik Zabje qualifying matches. Charlie says hi fish. Johnny says I found my girlfriend for 2 months maximum. Interesting. I guess 2 months is better than nothing. We'll take that. Charlie's favorite player is Mo Salah. I think I might get a Mo Salah shirt next year, Charlie. I was unsure on getting it this year if he would leave, but I think next year I'll get one. Snus with the Gerard. Good to see. But yeah, how you doing? Hope you're good. Hope you are well. Fish, I can't find any fixtures. Johnny says Atletico are our rivals, not enemies. I want them to win. Fair enough. Apparently Robertson might be there, you know. Robertson, Mr. Andy, next season. If I can show you something. I don't know if you guys have heard, but the rumors are quite strong. In that position there, where you got Gallan, maybe you'll have Andy Robertson. Snus says, Flo ride the shirt when? Good question. I need to get that one as well. I'm gonna run out of money. I have to get a Mo Salah shirt for Charlie, and I have to get a Flow Rider shirt for Snus. Good question. I need to see the kits first, because like you see pictures of them and then you see where they look nice, and then you see other pictures where kind of they don't look as nice. So I think I need to see pictures first, and I'm curious as to what shirt number he's gonna get as well. It's safe to say Snus is not going to miss Robertson. Have fun with that donkey. Just wait till he starts getting red cards out of nowhere, giving away pens. Omega lol. Yeah, it's a bit of a. It's an interesting scenario. It's a, how do I say this? It's a risk, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing. Because buying Van Dijk was a risk. Buying Alisson was a risk. I didn't think the ownership would be quite this bold and quite this brazen. But I suspect Robertson has got like a bit of an ego about him, and I suspect he probably said, you know what, I'm not gonna play second fiddle to some 22-year-old. I want to go. So I suspect he might have thrown a bit of a little fit. And then Liverpool said, okay, bye. Johnny says, I bought new F50s. They're expensive, but they're really good. Am I showing my age here? I don't know what F50s are. Are they trainers? Is that trainers? F50s? Or like football boots? Oh, nice. What color did you get? They look pretty good. I was close. I said trainers. Europa League qualifying 25, 26. Name 5 new teams in the Europa League. I ain't got no clue, man. 5 new teams in the Europa League. Can I get one? Nottingham Forest? Did Nottingham Forest get Europa League? I'd struggle with that. I know I say sometimes your quizzes are too easy, but that one's a bit too hard. The guy plotted it with Trent so he can leave as well. Go to Madrid with his boyfriend Trent. It's fine. Yeah, apparently Robertson has the same agent as Trent. Give me 1 second. I'll set the timer. Match has just kicked off. If I can remember how to do this. $55. Is the timer working? The timer is working. Yeah, apparently Apparently Robertson's got the same agent as Trent, and apparently he's Trent's brother. So let's see what happens with that. I got a new Wi-Fi, very nice, good to hear. You sorted that out pretty quickly. But yeah, hopefully this one's pretty good. Fish says Johnny says he got to go to school tomorrow. Lewis Cook and Abdullah Decore and Lewis Cook. I'm glad Lewis Cook is mentioned there twice. White, red, and blue F50s, very nice. Crystal Palace, Aston Villa, Young Boys, but that's only three. I thought you needed to name 5. Johnny says hi, the goatfish. His agent is the brother of Trent, so they can both leave. Yeah, I think at this point everyone is pretty much kind of completely sick of the sight of Trent's brother. I don't know what it is. You know how some people just have like an annoying face. I feel like he's just got an annoying face, and like I heard as well that Liverpool kind of paid. Ooh, Alvarez free kick. Oh God, he almost scored a free kick from 30 yards out. Alvarez. I guess this is Alvarez watch as well to a certain degree. He almost scored like an amazing free kick. But what was I saying? Forgot what I was saying. Damn that Alvarez. Kanate wants too much money, 200 grand per week, for him to miss out on a third of games. Legit, just sell the guy. Get in players that want to play for the club. So tired of this drama. Yeah, I saw that news story came out today. Tom says, whose agent is the brother of Trent? So Trent's brother, he's Trent's agent, and he's also Robertson's agent. Yeah, with the Kanate thing today, they're saying, oh, Real Madrid are gonna kind of, he's the next one that Real Madrid are gonna tap up. Real Madrid are gonna wait for him to run down his contract. And you're right, I'm just so sick of this. When I saw that news story today, I was like, you know what? Give Kanate an ultimatum. Say either you sign a new contract now, that's number one, or number two, we sell you to PSG. As Bilal has said there. Bilal has basically read my mind. So number 2 is we sell you to PSG. And if it's number 3, which is I wanna sit out my contract, like mate, you can sit on the bench. And then that can damage your international prospects, because you're right. So tired of this drama, so tired of having to go through this year after year after year after year. It's disrespectful and it's annoying and it's just kind of dirty. But yeah, hopefully, as I think Snus is alluding to, and I think as Bilal has also mentioned, if we can just sell him to PSG, it doesn't even have to be for a load of money, to be honest. Like, I like Kanate, and I'm sure everyone here likes Kanate, but like when Kanate doesn't have Van Dijk, you notice the difference. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying Kanate is rubbish, because he's not rubbish. He's good. But when Van Dijk isn't there, you notice the difference. Johnny says Trent is using Duolingo for 3 years. Man, that was so crazy, wasn't it? That was so crazy. Like out of nowhere, he's just fluent, saying like hablo español. I'm like, where the hell did you learn that from? That proves it, doesn't it? That proves that he's been engineering this move for quite some time. Because if you cast your mind back to a month ago, a lot of kind of rival fans were saying, "Oh, you know what? You're being too harsh on Trent. Let him, let him go. Let him do whatever." But ever since he did that little press conference and he was like, "Sí, señor. Sí, hermanos." I was going to say oui, but that's Francais. Sí. Ever since he started pulling that lingo out, Even rival fans are like, you know what, he did you dirty. And as Julio Cesar Rodriguez Jimenez says, that is also looks like what Trent said. I probably shouldn't have said that. But I have to translate this, mate. I'll have to translate this. There's something about Luis Diaz. I saw that Luis Diaz got married today. I don't know if that's what you're referring to. But I hope you appreciate the extent I go to. Saludos. Greetings. Okay. Hello. Saludos. Desde la tierra de... greetings from the land of Luis Diaz. So from Colombia. Very nice. He's from Colombia. To that I say, hola. Hope you're good, Julio Cesar. Johnny says, hi, my twin Sonny, if you're there. He's not there yet. It might be a bit late for him in India, but hopefully he'll join us. Johnny says she's 50. Who's 50? Is this the lady that you were trying to set me up with last week? Because is this when everyone was predicting my age and everyone got it like way older than I am and I started getting a bit worried? Michael Owens, hopefully the Mike, actually I was going to say hopefully not the Michael Owen, says nothing can kill my mood this window. We're signing Wirtz. Very true. I'm just excited for preseason to start. You know what I mean? Like, of course we need a striker, and I'm sure we'll get a striker, but just Frimpong on the right, Kirkes on the left, Wirtz in the middle. It's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be good. And no more kind of coming up against low blocks and struggling. Snus says, I like Konate as well. He's not worth 200 grand per week when he cannot play all the games like Van Dijk. True. I hear you. And I also don't think his ability or perhaps his intelligence isn't there. Like, he's very good. And I suspect his physical attributes kind of carry him a lot. But like 200 is probably the max that is probably the max that I'd offer him. Kind of given the market and all that. But even then, it depends on his attitude. If he kind of plays hard to get, like he's the kind of the cheerleader at school, then we should tell him to kind of do one. Liverpool Goal says, hello everyone, how you doing? Hope you're well. How's the editing coming along? I hope that's coming along quite nicely. And yeah, hope you had a nice weekend. I didn't. It's effing boiling, hence the fan. But yeah, hope your weekend's been well. He's out a third of the games, and he believes he can get 200k per week. He don't deserve it. It's fine, just be sold and we can replace. Yeah, I hear. For me, it's like if he said, give me 200 grand a week, then I'd understand. But I feel like he's doing the whole, ooh, maybe I will, maybe I won't. You know what I mean? You know when people mess you about? And they don't tell you the price? You know, like sometimes if you're buying something online, like on eBay or something, and people mess about, they don't tell you the price. If he's doing that, then I'll be annoyed. Whereas if he says, look, I'll sign if you give me 200, then that's a discussion. Fish says, Bri Bicus Dicus to Liverpool. Here we go. Let's hope so. But where would this Penguin play? That is the question. Konate is good, says Johnny. He is good. I do like him. My only concern is he gonna play hard to get like he's you know, like he's like a teenager at school. That would just annoy me. That was right. It was your friend's stepmom that you wanted me today. Arushan says, hi, how you doing, Arushan? Hope you're well. Hope you had a nice weekend. Nico Williams is coming to Barcelona. Is that Nico Williams as in the Bilbao winger and not the Nottingham Forest one? Like, is that the one? The Bilbao winger? The left winger? Fish says, Google Spionero Golubino. Is this some more like TikTok stuff that you keep getting me to Google. I'm going to Google it without sharing my screen first. What the hell is this, man? It's a penguin. Is this... it's a penguin fish. What is this penguin? Is this penguin... Is this related to Brie Brickus? I'll look this penguin up later. Johnny Bravo in the house says Liverpool goals. Indeed. Good to have Johnny Bravo here. We need to be Ruthless FC. So happy. Michael Edwards is back. He don't care about. He will sell and replace. True. You are right about that. I think Klopp's sentimentality was his strength, but in certain aspects, it could also be his weakness. Like drinking water is good for you, but if you drink too much water, it will kill you. So I think Klopp was perhaps a bit too loyal at times, whereas Edwards is the opposite to a certain degree. So yeah, I think this will work out quite nicely. Edwards will kind of get rid of the players beforehand. Like even the stuff about Robertson leaving. Like and again, I don't want to turn this too much into an anti-Klopp thing, but like if Klopp was here, number one, we probably wouldn't be buying a left back, and number two, like he'd fight to kind of keep Robertson kind of thing. Fish says Liverpool Goals TV versus Harry Wilson. Why? Why are they having a battle? Johnny says, why are there no Real Madrid fans to roast here? Oh, they will be around eventually. They will pop up eventually. Yeah, Harry Wilson. Fish is extremely random. Arushan says, Florian Wirtz and Jeremy Frimpong is the next generation of Liverpool. You're right. You are right. We are perhaps seeing the next incarnation of the team, I guess. Because within a few years, and I say few, within maybe 2 years, Van Dijk will probably go. Within maybe 2 years, Salah will probably go. Within maybe 2 or 3 years, Alisson will probably go. Within about 5 minutes, Andy Robertson will probably go. So yeah, you're right. I think we are seeing that next generation, and I'd add Kirkes to it as well. Fish says he's cute. That's the pigeon he made me look at earlier. Friday was 3 days ago. Most school tomorrow. Yeah, and I got work tomorrow. I'd rather have school than work, to be fair. Hope squirts flops. I like that. That's quite a good one. Squirts. That's actually a good one. I can't even be annoyed at that because that's quite funny. Squirts. We will be hate watching. Hate watching's a bit much, surely. Hate watching's a bit much, but squirts is a good one. I can't even be annoyed at you. Spioniro Golobino to Liverpool. Here we go. I didn't know that was a here we go, but good to know. Johnny says, search 2 girls, 1 cup. I did that about 20 years ago, and the music is still in my head. So please do not search that. Beethoven to Borussia Dortmund. Here we go. Moonlight Sonata. I mean, I appreciate and I respect like your kind of classical music acumen, Fish. I think you were speaking about Chopin. Is it Chopin? And you're quite cultured when it comes to knowing about classical composers, so I respect that. Johnny says, hi Liverpool goals, how are you? I mean the Spanish. Okay, the Spanish Nico Williams, right? So the left winger. So if they are to get the Spanish Nico Williams, then that means they're probably not going to be in for Diaz then. Arushan says, kind of think Trent and Melina. You mean Trent? But what do you mean by Melina? Johnny's skipping school tomorrow. And Arishan says no school for me. Fair enough. That's always nice. Always nice. Nice little day off tomorrow. What are the chances both Robbo and Nunes go to Atletico and we negotiate for Alvarez? It would be nice, wouldn't it? Would be nice. So Robertson, you could say, is valued at what, like 10 million? Nunes probably valued at like 50 to 60, but let's cut it in the middle and say 55. So that's 65. So would Robertson and Nunes plus 40 million do it for about 105? I'd be all over that. All good, Johnny. Thank you, says Liverpool Goals. There you go. It's good to see everyone's doing well. Everyone will not be well if they search for that, Johnny. RG255 says, guess the current by the first three letter. The current what? I feel like there's a word missing. Like, I don't know. Guess the current day or guess the current season. Oh, guess the country. But like, could it be like any country? I feel like. All right. So are you gonna give three letters? Like you're gonna say like BOL, and then if you say BOL, I'm like, okay, Bolivia, or someone else might come up with a suggestion. Samuel Mark Ingram says Man United should look at signing Julian Alvarez. I mean, they can look at it. To be honest, it's probably not going to happen. I think you've signed Cunha, haven't you? I mean, Cunha's a decent striker. Cunha's a good striker. Yeah, up and Punjab saying Man United fans are so deluded. I'm trying to be nice. I'm like, I do not think that is likely. And then up and Punjab's like, they're just deluded. PSG just scored, by the way. Oh, good. Let's put the score up. Johnny says, you're welcome. You're welcome, LFC Goals. Yeah, shot from outside the box. And it's gone in. Fabian Ruiz. ING. There's a country that starts with ING. Not England, obviously. What country starts with ING? So are those like the first three letters? ING. I could Google it, but I'm not gonna cheat. You said England. That's ENG, man. You put ING. Oh god. Johnny says one goal, one assist, one free kick in one match. Very true. I agree with you there, Samuel. I think that 100 million for Hugo Ekitike is too much. If you go on my profile, I made some sort of video about Hugo Ekitike saying I don't think he's worth it. He's fine. He's okay, but 100 million's too much. I don't see it. I don't see kind of what's good about him. He's not a great finisher. I mean, he's not particularly strong. He's not particularly quick. I don't kind of see what the attraction is, other than him being young and him being, the next kind of, what's the word? The next kind of shiny toy everyone wants. For me, he's not £100 million player. And like, teams need to stop like throwing £100 million onto like every player, if you know what I mean. As soon as the player becomes available, it's like, yeah, £100 million. £100 million. Defenders available, £100 million. You want a fan? Fan is £100 million. Up and Up and Job says, is the PSG game on TV in UK? I don't know about TV, but it's on DAZN. It's on DAZN. RG255 said, oh, yeah. Herrera said, what about Young Philly? Is he worth 100 million? I don't know. Is that like a rapper? I'm not like much of a rap music type of guy, to be honest. This one? Is it this Young Philly? He's got a Spotify, so I presume he's a artist of some sort. Hasn't been behaving himself, judging by some of the news. So in answer to your question, maybe his bail is 100 million. I don't know. United apparently are after Ekatike now. Yeah, I heard. Like I thought they were gonna get Mbuemo, and then Spurs rocked up and said, "Why don't you play for us in the Champions League instead? And you can live in London as well." So it looks like Mbuemo might not happen. If Man United were to get Ekatike though, how would they set up? Because haven't they already bought the Brazilian guy? What's his name? Cunha. And I would have presumed that Cunha would kind of play centrally. So if they were to get Ekatike, where would they play him? It's a bit weird, isn't it? RG255 says, "What does I don't know mean?" There's the hint. It means I don't know. Herrera says, "Are you RS3, my brother?" Yes and no. To be fair, I don't have an RS3, but I know what it means. Is Wirtz having a medical tomorrow? Not that I've seen. Not that I've seen. Last that I've heard, with respect to Wirtz, he's on holiday, and as soon as he comes back from holiday, that's when he's going to do his medical. But they haven't really revealed kind of when his holiday is, if you know what I mean. Ben says, please say tomorrow. I mean, I hope it would be tomorrow. I mean, if I Google it for you, Wirtz medical. Florian Wirtz's transfer to Liverpool is nearing completion. The deal is expected to be finalized this week. So this week. If you see that there, agreement done with both clubs. Medical after his holiday. So it's a bit of a mystery, I guess, as to when he's coming back from his holiday. It'll get done next week. This time next week it will be done. Cunha will play as a 10, says Liverpool Goals TV. I could see that happening. The only thing is, like, Amorim still going to do his weird ass formation? Because you know, with his like weird ass formation, he's basically got 3 centre backs, and then he's got 2 wing backs, which is 5. Then I feel like he has kind of 2 central midfielders in, say, Casemiro and what's his name? What's that guy's name? Kobe Mainoo or whoever. So then are we saying ahead of those there's going to be a number 10? So ahead of those there's going to be a number 10, and then there's going to be 2 strikers maybe that's how he does it. But I think Man United are going to struggle unless they replace that goalkeeper, as we saw on that YouTube video that I uploaded. Unless they replace that goalkeeper, and unless they kind of bolster the midfield. The thing is, like, I've even seen like Man United fans kind of making predictions for next season, and they're also, not all, but there is a portion of them that are saying they're going to win the league. And I think at this point we can't even laugh. I do think it needs to be diagnosed as a kind of mental illness. I've genuinely never seen anything like it. Johnny says, my new girlfriend's 2 years older than me. I don't know why every girl my age friend zone me, and girl older than me want to date me. I asked the girl, told me it's because my baby face, but I don't know. Any ideas? I mean, it could be that you're very mature. It could be that you're very mature, very sophisticated, and therefore people your own age don't really see it, but people that are older than you, it appeals to them. So I'd say it's a good thing. It exhibits a level of sophistication. Ben says, type Google medical tomorrow. I can try. There won't be anything. What's medical Monday? Nah, nothing. There's a bit of a rumor. Oh, I don't know if you can say it. 1 second. There's a rumor there. FLORIAN Wirtz reportedly set for medical on Thursday. I don't know if that's quite as soon as you would have hoped, but if I'm honest, all of this looks like conjecture. I don't think anybody really knows. Yeah, nothing specific. That was last week. Yeah, it was an old one. But I guess as far as I can see, there's nothing nothing particularly kind of concrete. RG255 says, don't visit Grantham, Lincolnshire. I shall not. Is that where you had the haunted house with the black bags? I will avoid it. I will avoid it. I want your favorite right back. My favorite right back to get cooked by La Liga wingers. He's not my favorite right back at all, and I agree with you. I also want him to get cooked by La Liga wingers. Also want him to get cooked by Rafinha, by Yamal, by Robertson if Robertson goes there, by Diaz if Diaz goes there. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to him having a terrible time and regretting his decision. Johnny says, if Wirtz is 150 million, imagine what Pedri's worth. That would be a point, but apparently Wirtz wasn't 150 million. What I've seen is 100 million euros plus 16 million euros on top. So actually like 85 million pounds plus, I don't know, plus 12 in kind of add-on. So it turns out the kind of 150 million figure, which I did have a feeling was ludicrous, because Liverpool's whole thing is we look for value in the market, we look for opportunistic signings. And to me, 150 million didn't feel particularly opportunistic. I mean, like what's opportunistic about paying that much money? So the news that has come out recently is that it's 100 million euros, which is 85 million pounds, plus about 12 million in add-ons. That makes a lot more sense now regarding kind of why they went for the move. Google said medical tomorrow. Let's see. I guess let's see what happens. Liverpool goal says, I say let Wirtz enjoy his holiday. A medical will happen soon after. Yeah, I'm not. I'm kind of not too concerned about it. He's had a long season, and then that season was made even longer by having to play in that. Was it Nations League? There's so many damn tournaments these days. You can't remember which one's which. So you had to play in the Nations League. Yeah, like he'll have a holiday, he'll relax, and then yeah, I'm sure this will get sorted. I mean, not even sure. I'm confident this will get sorted next week. Anytime next week is fine. Ben says hi. How you doing, Ben? Hope you're well. Hope you're good. Hope you've had a nice weekend. Johnny says, what's the story of the haunted house? Well, this is a haunted house that RG255 was telling us about. Apparently, there's a haunted house in Grantham in Lincolnshire, and it had loads of black bags in it. And RG255 was quite wary of it and said, and was it in the woods? You were saying, and yeah, you were saying best to stay away from that. They're just replaying the goal here. The bad thing about kind of showing fans celebrating in slow motion is you see the spit coming out their mouth in slow motion. So instead of the spit just falling down, you gradually see the spit kind of making its way across, and it's like, do we really need to see that in slow motion? I mean, show the goal in slow motion, yeah, but celebrating in slow motion is not the prettiest thing to look at. Johnny says, "What if Wirtz fails it?" I mean, it's not outside the realm of possibility. I mean, it could happen. I mean, it's unlikely that he'd fail it, kind of given that he's played a full season, and given that he's played more than a full season. With respect to the Nations League, where even the Nations League games we were watching, he looked like he was the most alert. So I really doubt he would fail it. But if he does fail it, then that's what the medical's for. Then we should pull out the deal. But I don't see him failing it. But if he does fail it, then the medical has done its job. Johnny wants to visit it. Is this the haunted house? Wirtz deal is like when we broke the record fees for Van Dijk and Alisson. If the club feels a player is worth it, they will make a deal happen. Nunes was a disaster, but you can't get them all right. Very true. Very true. I think the club always kind of looks for value in the market, and value doesn't necessarily have to mean cheap. There's players in the top end of the market who can be undervalued. So Van Dijk at the time, who's the first one there, I remember everyone at the time, myself included, thought £75 million is an absolutely ludicrous amount for a centre back. But on reflection, how many years later, it's safe to say he was undervalued. Alisson as well. I think Alisson was about 56 or something £1 million. You can say he was undervalued. And hopefully it's a similar thing with Wirtz. I think what is encouraging is it isn't quite the 150 million number that was being thrown around. It's 116 million all in. But in reality, 85 plus add-ons, I believe. So that's positive. Nunes was a disaster, but you can't get them all right. True. I think the difference with the Nunes thing is that was more of a management signing. Or to be more specific, that was more of a club signing. That was when the kind of data team, as I'm sure kind of everyone here is aware, that's kind of after the data team had left. But yeah, now that the data team's back, we should see kind of better signings and kind of no more Nunes is stinking up the gaff. RG255 says it's demolished now. Well, there's the answer to the haunted house for Johnny. The house is demolished, so it's probably not going to be able to visit it anymore, but it's probably for the best. RG255 says, I'm leaving now. No worries. Take care. Have a nice evening. Mo says, I'm an Everton fan and hate Liverpool, but their transfer business the past 5 years has been smart. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a fair point. So, Mo being an Everton fan despises Liverpool, But even Mo can say, you know what, with respect to how the club has operated in the market, it's been quite intelligent. So yeah, that's a good sign. I think that's a really positive sign. If an Everton fan or a Man United fan says Liverpool have been generally kind of smart in the market, that fills you with confidence. That's good to hear. Johnny says some players like Pedri, Nuno Mendes, Cole Palmer are overused. They can get hurt next season. That's my concern with Gravenberch, to be honest with you. I love Gravenberch. Gravenberch is my favourite player. And I think we were discussing this last time when we were talking about kind of English quota versus kind of foreign quota and Endo staying and all that kind of jazz. But that's my concern about Gravenberch next season. He's played a lot of games. He's never played this many games in his life ever before. And if we are to overplay him again, there's a risk that he could get injured. And that's the thing. I mean, all the players you've kind of named there, Gravenberch included, Pedri, Nuno Mendes, Cole Palmer, they're all quite young players. So, I mean, Michael Owen is probably the extreme example of that, to be fair. And Michael Owen would just play every game of every second when he was 18. And then he started getting injuries in his early 20s, and then career kind of went south from there. I do think kind of sports science has progressed since then. So we won't see anything that extreme, but it's still something to be mindful of, I think. Oh, PSG. Oh, I thought they were going to get a second there. I thought they were going to get a second, but they did not. They did not. It's crazy that you can win the Champions League and like a couple of days later you've got to fly to the US. You've got to fly to the US and play another game. Everyone just looks so tired. What's the temperature in the US? I know that's a bit of that's a bit hard to say. Where is this game taking place? PSG versus... Because it looks so hot. Venue is the Rose Bowl. So this is where the game's taking place. It's in California. So what's the temperature there? Is that? Oh, okay. Not too bad. 30 degrees. It looks like they're proper dying in the heat, to be fair. Johnny says, welcome to the best streamer stream. Appreciate that, Johnny. Appreciate that. Mo says, good transfers like Van Dijk. People thought they were expensive at the time, but great scouting showed the difference. Yeah, even I thought he was ludicrously expensive at the time. We were actually linked with buying him for 50 million, so 50. And then we kind of tapped him up. And then, I don't know if you remember, to be fair, it's not all that important, but we ended up having to pay extra because we were a bit naughty and we tapped him up. And essentially that's why we ended up paying 75 million. And I remember at the time thinking, that is absolutely crazy. What are we doing? I appreciate we got the Coutinho money, which was like 140, but even then I'm like 75 million on a defender. But you're right, it was expensive at the time, but looking back now, it's it was well played. I'm safe to say I was wrong about that, and most people were wrong about that. Johnny says, we got the FIFA president, came on Speed Channel. Now we want him on your stream. Yeah, he'll have to say, today I feel like a Liverpool fan, and if he does do that, I'll let him on. The Big Lebowski says, big up the Liverpool data team. 100%. Big up the Liverpool data team, and just the kind of approach that they take. Apparently they've got like detailed kind of resumes on pretty much every player, to the point where whenever kind of new players sign, the data team kind of shows them all the info they have, and like a random player's like, what? How did you know my mom's favorite color? It's to that extent. So it's really kind of good to have a data team, and it's really refreshing to have a situation whereby that data team is empowered in the sense that the decision makers listen to them. Because I'm sure there's kind of data teams in other teams, but the other teams say, we're not listening to you guys. So yeah, it's really good. It's really good that they're kind of listened to. Liverpool Goals says, I'm heading off. Need to get some shut eye. Have a great evening and see you all soon. You too. Hope you have a pleasant nap, pleasant rest, and yeah, look forward to the next video on Collymore, I think. But yeah, take care. See you soon. Enjoy. Johnny says, man, I'm promoting your channel. Give me a hell yeah. Hell yeah. I don't have any beers, but no, I appreciate that, Johnny. The Big Lebowski says, yeah, it's also about how they fit into the style of play rather than just the highlight stats. Very true, very true. They kind of get the right player for the position based on what kind of Liverpool need them to do. Whereas I think a lot of other teams, they just look at, okay, who's the best left back? And I use that term quite loosely. They just look at who's the best left back and then they'll buy them for 50 million. But I think Liverpool and the data team in particular, they go to such a extreme kind of level of detail where they find the exact match with respect to kind of what's needed. And I think to a certain degree as well, they go even kind of beyond that to the point where they also kind of ensure that the person's like not a dickhead. So I think they have something called like the no dickheads policy, where it has to be like a humble-ish individual who isn't gonna kind of disturb the kind of good ambience that they kind of have going on. But yeah, they find the kind of right match from a technical perspective. They find the right match from a positional kind of play perspective, and they find the right match from a human perspective. Like Liverpool would never sign like a Neymar, because Neymar's too much of an ego. Liverpool would never sign a Cristiano Ronaldo at 35. They probably would when he was 17, but not at 35, because he's just going to rock the boat. And it's not worth it in the end. We got the best goalkeeper in La Liga. You're talking about Ter Stegen again. Johnny says, bro, please put my comment on your YouTube. Do you mean on here? Or have you left a comment? If you've left it, I can have a look at that afterwards if you want. I'm not going to leave that comment on there, am I? But nice try. To be honest, it's what excites me about Wirtz. The amount of turnovers as well as the attacking skills. Yeah, 100%. And he's quite physical for somebody who doesn't look like a physical player, but he's got quite a low center of gravity as well. The turnovers, as you've said, a very good kind of close control. The ball, to a certain degree, kind of sticks to his feet, like it's a bit of a magnet. And kind of, I've watched a few kind of interviews with him as well. He seems kind of quite humble. He doesn't seem like he's got like a gigantic ego, and I think that relates to the point that we were saying previously as well. NS Gamer says, "Are you excited about Wirtz?" Yeah, 100%. Excited. And that kind of relates to your next question there. Where do you think Wirtz will play in our team? I think he'll play in Szoboszlai's position, which would then lead the question on to what happens with Szoboszlai. And I'm like, I don't know. I think primarily he'll play in Szoboszlai's position. Because there was a bit of debate, wasn't there? Is he going to play as a striker? Is he going to play as a number 10? Is he going to play as a winger? I think primarily in that number 10 position. Maybe sometimes he might play on the left. and then Szoboszlai can play century, but I think primarily in that number 10 position, because I think that's where he's excelled. And PSG just gone 2-0 up, by the way. Vitinha with a goal, and then he takes that thong off his head and he's spinning it around again. But yeah, I think in that number 10 position, because that's where he's excelled, it would be really weird to get a record signing and then play him out of position. So yeah, I think he'll play in the middle. But yeah, where do you think? Where do you think he'll play? That's kind of why I'm excited for pre-season. I just kind of want to see how Slot is going to use him. Tuno. Nice goal, to be fair, by Vitinha. We were speaking of number 10s. Like, Vitinha kind of scored from the number 10 position. Long shot outside the box. So yeah, if Wirtz can do that for Liverpool, that would be really nice. That would be really nice. I think Liverpool have struggled to a certain degree, and even kind of going as far back as kind of Klopp's time. I feel like we've kind of struggled with low blocks and teams who kind of defend deep. So I think Wirtz would certainly kind of help with that, with his kind of passing ability and his vision and kind of and his turnovers, as kind of the Big Lebowski was saying earlier. Nice top, bro. Where did you get the candy from? Appreciate that. I quite like this one. This one is splitting opinion. I get some people saying that top's horrible, and I get some people saying I like it. I quite like this one. Where did I get it from? I got it from China. I got it from is it like dhgate.com? That one. Yeah. Shameless, 100% shameless. But yeah, it's pretty good. I like it. The best £10 I've ever spent, or was it 15, something like that? I think it was 15. I can't remember. Fish's top 10 hottest footballers. Number 1 is me. I've never been in position number 1 before, Fish. So I appreciate that. I must be. Like, the first time you did this list, I was in position 5. So I must have done something in my appearance to be in position number 1. I appreciate I'm not a footballer, but I'll take that either way. I'll take a compliment either way. Number 2 is himself. Number 3 is Fish. Oh no, this is from Johnny. Sorry. This is from Johnny. So number 1 is me. Again, I'll take any compliment. Number 2 is Johnny. Number 3 is Fish. Number 4 is Sunny. Number 5 is his new girlfriend. Number 6 is every Barcelona fan. Number 7, I have absolutely no idea who that number 7 is. Number 8 is Pedri. Number 9 is himself again. And number 10 is and Enes with the perfect timing says Happy Pride Month. I appreciate that, Enes. Happy Pride Month to you too. I don't know if that was based off Johnny's top 10 list where he put me in position number 1, but it is what it is. I'll take any compliment. Johnny says F Madrid. There you go. Of course, I would love to fully enunciate the F, but I don't know if I'd get in trouble with YouTube. Well, it's half time. 2-0. Set the clock back to 45. User 786311295 says Liverpool should have been in the Club World Cup. They should have been. This would have been a lot more exciting if Liverpool were in the Club World Cup. I don't know if this is obnoxious, but to a certain degree, if Liverpool are not there, it kind of feels like a bit of a dead tournament. You know what I mean? Like Liverpool should have been there, but equally, like I'm, I'm kind of glad. I'm kind of glad that Liverpool. I'm kind of glad that Liverpool are not there because I think the players need a rest. If you know what I mean. Johnny is just confirming he's 100% straight, and he would jump off a cliff. So there is the answer for Enes there. If Trent defended his back post, we would have. Lol. Very true. Very true. But it is what it is. It is what it is. What can we do now? What can we do now? M. Fraser says it is obnoxious. Yeah, I had a feeling. It would be kind of slightly obnoxious. But it is what it is. Why the F is Barcelona not in the Club World Cup? Because didn't qualify, unfortunately. But it'll still be a fun tournament. You've got Real Madrid in there. Unfortunately, this isn't going to be kind of the best opportunity to do the Trent hate watching, because I think he's going to play against kind of bang average teams, so he's going to look good. But next season in La Liga, in the Champions League, we will conduct the hate watches to a more extreme degree. Abdul Muiz says there's no qualifiers. They didn't qualify. Under the floodlights, they didn't qualify based on points over the 4 years. Yeah, it kind of historically goes back as kind of the under the floodlights are saying. Abdul Muiz says, why would you hate on him, Trent? Because he again. I'm trying to phrase this nicely. I'd say because of the way he engineered his exit, and I think the icing on the cake of that is how he did his first Madrid press conference in fluent Spanish. So that to me says he has sat out his contract for the past 2 years, knowing that he was gonna leave, and knowing that he was gonna leave, to then sit out your contract and kind of leave on a free, whilst all along saying to people, you know what, I don't know if I'm gonna stay. I don't know. You did know if you did know you were gonna go, because you speak better Spanish than some of the Spanish players. So I just find him very kind of dishonest, very sneaky behavior. But to be honest, like, he's gone now, so I don't really care to that degree. And kind of when he comes back to the Premier League with Aston Villa, who's going to care at that point? You know what I mean? It's done now. Do I wish him well? No. Do I wish him injury? No. But do I wish him well from a footballing perspective? No. Trent F you in all positions and left you, yeah. We should have. Is that being in the Club World Cup? Liverpool 3 Champions League finals in 4 years. 2 league titles in 5 years. 4th in UEFA club rankings, but no Club World Cup. I mean, putting it that way, you've made a pretty compelling argument. But I think the way they calculate it must be kind of weird, if you know what I mean. So but to be honest, like, from a selfish perspective, I'd like to be watching Liverpool right now. But from a kind of realistic perspective, it's probably a good thing, because I think that team needs a rest. Let them have a holiday, and then let them do pre-season normally. So yeah, I'd say I'm kind of glad. I'm kind of glad that that Liverpool are not playing. Thoughts on Robbo to Atletico? His agent is the Rat's brother. They want him for free. Yeah, that's all. That's all. Well, it's multi. There's multiple. There's multiple parts to that question, I guess. So firstly, with respect to his rodent, to the rodent's brother, F him, and never deal with him ever again. Any players that are under his agency, don't ever deal with him. So I'd say that's kind of point number one. Point number two, like from my perspective, surely it makes more sense. And again, I'm not saying what they're doing is wrong, but I would have thought it would have made more sense to kind of keep Robertson as a backup next year. But what I presume has happened, Robertson's got a bit of an ego. Like people don't like to admit it, but Robertson's got a bit of an ego. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I think a lot of players have egos, but I think Robertson's got a bit of an ego. And I think what has probably happened is Robertson probably said, you know what, I've got no interest in playing as a backup. I want to go kind of experience new things. So if Robertson is really intent on going, then at the very least, we can say, you know what, at least Robertson's telling us, Robertson's telling us what he wants. You know what I mean? He's not doing the Kanate, ooh, maybe yes, maybe no. He's not doing the trend, ooh, maybe yes, maybe no. Like at least Robertson's being straight with it and kind of coming right out, if you know what I mean. So I think if people are honest with you, then we should try and accommodate their wishes. Because if we like keep him against his will, then is he really going to perform at the same level? So what I think is happening is he's saying he wants to go, and if he wants to go, let him go. Because if we don't get money for him this year, he'll go on a free next year when his contract's up. So I think the club's hand was probably forced. I'd much prefer a Robertson as a backup over Tsimikas. His experience in the dressing room is vital. I hear you. He is a leader. I do think he's defensively a bit more sound, but what I predict has happened here is Robertson has said, look, I want to go. So I think when that kind of situation happens, I think the club's hand is probably forced. He speaks better. Johnny says Trent speaks better Spanish than Kate speaks English. That's pretty good one. I can't lie. I might have to reuse that, but I will give you credit. Tobias says, how are you watching it? It's on DAZN. Dills says, are you from Northwest London, bro? I am not. Northwest London is also like extremely specific. Where is that like Chelsea? Should we do a geography lesson? Don't say these streams are not educational. Northwest London, is that Wembley? I've been to Wembley Stadium. Or Watford. I've been to Watford, but yeah, I'm not from there. Why is there a pre-season if there's so many competition before it? It's all about money, isn't it? It's all about kind of making as much money as they can. That's the answer to every question. Jaden, how you doing, Jaden? Hope you're well. Says Barcola, if Diaz goes, what do you think? To be honest, I don't know if this is controversial. Like, I've never been particularly impressed by Barcola. Like, I've been impressed by his hair. Like, his hair is kind of like exquisite, if you kind of know what I mean. But like from a ability perspective, like I've never been particularly impressed by Barcola. I mean, he's okay, but like I kind of don't know what he does pretty well. But a lot of people are like quite big on Barcola. You know what I mean? I think we can do kind of better than Barcola. Johnny says she sends me that and told me to send mine. What should I do? Never do it. It never ends well. I thought he was 8 like man from Mobile. Yeah, I've heard I look like him. Liao looks alright. Liao looks alright. I guess it kind of depends on the I guess it kind of depends on the kind of fee. To be fair, kind of what kind of money they're asking, if you know what I mean. Like, how much would you pay for him? How much would you pay for him? That's the question, isn't it? Oh, Isak. Okay, now you're talking. Now you're talking. I think Isak would be pretty good. Isak would be like a central option, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I mean, if Isak's available, let's get on that. With respect to kind of the left wing, like apparently Anthony Gordon might be available. I don't know if he's a good option. But yeah, Barcola ain't the one for me. User says alarm bells with Trent started in 2022. He refused a 6-year deal. Would only sign for 3 years. Yeah, I think he signed a 4-year deal, wasn't it? When kind of everyone else kind of signed a 5-year deal. But you're right. That's kind of when the alarm bells started ringing, because Fabinho signed a 5-year deal. I think even Jordan Henderson signed like a long-term deal. But it is really weird. Like if a kind of young player doesn't sign a long-term deal. So yeah, we should have had like some sort of indication back then, but it is what it is now. Johnny says, bro, your streams teach me more than my teacher. Is that the geography lesson we just did? Good to hear. LFC Network says, hey mate, can you follow us? Yeah. There you go. That should be done now. Donkey Kong says, I heard from someone that you guys are getting Yamal, but I find that stupid because you have Salah. Yeah, we're not getting Yamal. Zero chance of that happening. Yamal has just signed a new contract, I believe, with Barcelona, and his wages would be crazy as well. So I can't see that happening, to be fair. Jaden says, I'm not gonna lie, I'd prefer Gyökeres. Imagine Gyökeres versus Salah would be good. To be honest, I'm not trying to sound spoiled, but I don't see it with Gyökeres either. Like from a striker perspective, like I'd like Isak, which again is a pipe dream to a certain degree. I'd like Alvarez, which again kind of very expensive. Ekatike, I've never really seen it. Gyökeres, I'm kind of mentally scarred with respect to kind of getting strikers from the Portuguese league after the whole kind of Nunes situation. But let's see what happens. What day is Liverpool playing in the Club World Cup? Not in this one. They are not in it. Johnny says, what should I do with hers? That's up to you. that's up to you. Jaden says, we're having a rest. We deserve it after the season we had. I hear ya. That's the thing I was kind of saying earlier. I was like, from a selfish perspective, like I want to see Liverpool playing in this game. But from a realistic perspective, thinking with my brain, like that team, they need a rest. They need a big rest. They just won the Premier League. Let them go on holiday. Let them go on multiple holidays so that they come back kind of refreshed kind of next season. So yeah, thinking logically, like I'm fine with Liverpool not being in this. Donkey Kong says, yeah, that guy was tweaking, bro. 100%. Usman said, should have spent that 130 million on Doué. Doué is looking like a player, man. The annoying thing with Doué is PSG, they just bought him like this season, at the start of the season, for like 40 million. You know what I mean? So it's like we should have perhaps gotten in there early. But yeah, 130 is crazy. Johnny says Jamal's not going anywhere. Shut up. Yeah, he ain't going anywhere. He's gonna be in it for the long term. Apparently he's getting Messi's number 10 shirt next season as well. Donkey Kong says nah, Gyökeres wouldn't happen. Isak or Sesko would sound better. Yeah, Isak would be a lot better. If you forced me to get like, and again, I don't know any more than anyone here. But like, if you force me to get one of the kind of project strikers, whether it's Sesko or Ekitike or Gyökeres, I'd probably be kind of leaning towards Sesko, but he's probably going to go Arsenal, to be fair. Usman says, haha, small club. Yeah, tiny club. There were reasons Brighton sold Gyökeres. I don't think he's suited for the Prem. Yeah, you might be onto something there. You might be onto something there as well. Quite often players, when they go to other leagues, they kind of shine, but then when they kind of come back to England, it's not as good. That would kind of influence kind of my thinking as well. Usman says a PGMOL league, you mean? Yeah, 100%. Hopefully PGMOL guide us to another title next year, so that we can kind of dunk on Arsenal again, and then hopefully Arsenal fans continue to cry about it. I mean, Arsenal should have spent some money on the referees like we did, but you spent it on Nicolas Pepe instead. So it is what it is. Maybe spend some of next season's money on referees, and then you might win. You might win something. Who would you take? Would you take finishing second if you meant winning a 7th European Cup? Probably. Can't lie. I find Champions League. I find Champions League a lot more exciting than kind of Premier League. I know that's kind of sacrilege to kind of say, but I find kind of winning. I find winning the Champions League a lot more exciting because there's a lot more on the line, if you know what I mean. But it is what it is. He reminds me of a young Neymar. Top 2 sides of England, Spanish champions and Italian champions, not being in this competition makes it. Yeah, I hear ya. It's not as fun. It's not as exciting, but it's all we got at the moment. You know what I mean? Wolf says Yamal's getting over 300k now. Yeah, we like Yamal's gonna stay there for a long time, I think. Over 300k. Is he still like 19? So you'd think by the time he gets to his early 20s, he's going to be on like 500, something like that. Usman says Sesko is going to North London. Yeah, I think he'll end up at Arsenal. I think Sesko's very raw, but that's I still think that out of the young strikers, I think he can be a top player. He can be a top player, I think. Fenteka says Isak. Yeah, to be honest, I'm 99.99% ain't gonna happen, but it is what it is. Nunes was a damaged one. Very true. He's damaged me as well. He's damaged everyone that has had to watch him. Fish is back. Says hi guys. How you doing, Fish? Hope you're well. Hope you are doing good. Gyökeres ain't a developing striker. I hear ya. I'm just kind of mentally scarred with respect to kind of players from the Portuguese league. Or strikers specifically after the whole Nunes situation. Reese says hi. How you doing, Reese? Hope you're good. Donkey Kong says, wait, how is an Arsenal fan saying Liverpool is a small club? This is coming from a United fan. Yeah, I hear ya. Not even close to true. Usman says he'd solely play a counter-attacking style. Is that Sesko? That's why I think Sesko would be quite good for Arsenal, because I think Arsenal, they do defend quite deep, but then they do attack quite quickly on the counter. I think he'll suit them quite well. Dapal is going to Chelsea. Who is that? You will need to clarify. Dylan caught the crazy Nicholas Pep stray. Freya says Champions League is more exciting than Premier League for me because watching Arsenal. I hear you. I find Champions League more exciting as well. I think because there's more on the line and like, you know, one small mistake and then you can kind of get eliminated. So I just find Champions League more exciting because everything comes down to that one game, or at an extreme, everything comes down to those two games. So yeah, I find Champions League is way more exciting. Whereas the league, like, you win it gradually, and again, it's nice, but it's like because it has so long to marinate, the end result it doesn't feel as good to me as being kind of really nervous and then kind of winning the Champions League. Yamal would get bullied in the Prem. Do you reckon? Let's see how he does in the Champions League against Premier League teams, I guess. A user says probably wouldn't happen, but ambitious bid for Adam Wharton for Liverpool. It depends on kind of what they'd ask for him. Like, he's very good, but he'd have English tax because he's English. But I think he's a really good player. But to be honest, I think kind of given that we kind of need to be given that we need to buy a striker and given that we need to buy a defender, I just don't see Liverpool kind of spending that kind of money on a defensive midfielder. But it would be nice. Freya says watching Arsenal was magic. Yeah. I kind of agree with you. I just find it I find Champions League a lot more exciting because you're nervous throughout the whole day and you just don't know what's gonna happen, and then if you win, it's amazing. Cole says how are we finding the Club World Cup? Pretty rubbish, but this chat is a lot more interesting. so I'm glad you're here. Honestly, it's okay. I got the Club World Cup on the right, but the chat's over here, and I'm basically more looking at the chat than the Club World Cup. I don't see Slot winning another Champions League, but I think you made a typo there. So you're saying you don't see him winning the Champions League at all? I think it could happen. I just think kind of with the Champions League, in many ways, it's a lot more difficult because it kind of comes down to that one game kind of quite often, if you know what I mean. I could see him winning it. I could see him winning it. But, I mean, he did very well in the Champions League this year. Kind of topped the group stage, and I think to a certain degree he was unfortunate to kind of come up against PSG so early, but I think he could. And I'm not saying that as like a biased person. I think he could. Johnny says my friend got pepper sprayed because his hand hit a chest. He said it was worth it. Fair enough. Naeem says United should be in the Club World Cup. It would make it more exciting, I can't lie. It would make it more exciting. I think just kind of those kind of teams, like your Liverpools, your Arsenals, even your Man Uniteds, I'd much rather watch them than Atletico Madrid, to be fair. But thankfully this chat is keeping me occupied. Matt says Amarim. Oh, you think I look like Amarim? I'll take that. I've got an Amarim. See, I think Amarim is like quite, you know, he looks quite well for someone of his age. So I've got Amarim. I've got Salah. I had Salah in the past. Thankfully, I haven't had Ange yet. So I think if people are calling me Amarim and people are calling me Salah, I think that's a compliment. I think when I start getting called Ange or when I start getting called Sam Allardyce, then I'll start getting concerned. Spinful Alex 55 says United, United, United 3 times. Fair enough. Fair enough. Naeem is going live soon. Very nice. Check that out. Check that out if you guys are United fans, or even if you're not. Seems like a nice person. Fish says do what, Fish? That is the question. Johnny finds it boring. Yeah, the match ain't good. I can't lie. I'm barely even watching it, to be fair. Frankie says, who do you think will win the Club World Cup? Probably PSG. To be honest with you, they've won the Champions League. What's one more trophy? They're playing quite well here. And again, I'm not paying full attention to it, but they're playing quite well. Atletico are not really threatening, so I'd say PSG. That's probably the lazy answer to a certain degree, because I'm predicting the Champions League winners to win the Club World Cup. What a oracle! I haven't even started the bloody timer. I've just noticed that. That's how much attention I'm paying to this game. I ain't even started the damn timer. Look at the levels of unprofessionalism. But there you go. I'll set it back to 55. But yeah, probably PSG. AM says the tickets were $4 for the Miami match. That's like what? That's like £2.50. Damn. Kind of wish I was there. Freya says, how did Atletico Madrid get into the Club World Cup, but Barcelona didn't? I don't understand it. Yeah, there's some weird rules regarding the qualifications for this, to be honest. I'll be honest, I'm not an expert on the rules for this. There's some weird ass rules. Someone was saying earlier, kind of, why didn't Liverpool qualify? Why didn't Arsenal qualify? I'm just taking this as it is. It's like it's a friendly tournament. We'll enjoy it for what it is until the real football comes back. Unreal Owen says, what striker do you want in the summer? I would love Isak, but it's not going to happen. I would love Alvarez. That shows you how much attention I'm paying to this game. I can't even remember Alvarez's name, and he's on the pitch. I love Alvarez. Probably ain't going to happen. I wouldn't have minded Cunha, to be fair, but he's gone now. I don't want Ekitike. I don't see the fascination. I don't want Gyökeres. I want this guy in the department to pull someone out the bag that nobody knows of. Johnny was saying, I was thinking of printing them and sending it to a house with a note. You could do, but then it's gonna be quite expensive to print them, number one, and the postage costs these days ain't cheap either. Frankie says you look nice. Well, thank you for Frankie. I appreciate that. I appreciate the compliment. Everyone keeps saying Salah, Amarim, but yeah, appreciate the compliment. Speaking of compliments, that was a nice goal. That was a nice goal there by Alvarez. Maybe there is a game. Maybe there is a game here after all. (2-1). Fish says that this is boring. It is boring, but that's why we're grateful for the chat, for kind of keeping us occupied. Ryan Gravenberch knows how. Well, firstly, Ryan, shouldn't you be resting after the season that you've had? Are you not tired? And secondly, please do tell. Sebs says, every chance Atleti gets, PSG's defense pushes, but goal. Yeah, nice goal by Alvarez. (2-1). Kyle says, you want a tutorial on how to get Liverpool autographs? I've got some in my room. I think you should keep that. That should be your secret thing. I think that should be your secret thing. It's the secrets of getting autographs are restricted information. only available to Kyle. Johnny says, you look like the owner of the orphanage I grew up in. Maybe that was me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Hus09 says, Liverpool definitely winning next season with Frimpong and Wirtz and hopefully Kirkes and hopefully a striker and hopefully a defender. I'm excited. I'm excited for next season. I'm excited for pre-season. July 13th. Boilercina says Auckland City. Yeah, are they the guys that got battered 10-0 earlier by Bayern Munich? High 7 says Salah, probably. Again, I'll be happy as long as it's Salah and not Ange Postecoglou. And that was awesome. It was. Freya says, is it just me? Or do most teams not want Gyökeres right now? I don't think it's just you. I think you have noticed the trend that a lot of teams don't seem particularly keen on him. I mean, we can probably blame Darwin Núñez for this because Darwin Núñez, he was prolific in Portugal, and then when he came over to the UK, it wasn't so good. So I don't know if Gyökeres can blame Núñez for this. AFC Dave says, the start of the Club World Cup is trash. Stadium's half empty. You're right. Like I can see. In that row of seats there, in that kind of row of seats there, it was like the first seat was taken, and then there was like 5 spares, and then the 6th seat was taken, and then there was another bunch of spares. So yeah, stadium is quite empty. I'd go if I was there. I'd go to watch it. Actually, I could go, but it's too hot at the moment. Thoughts on Vinny? Yeah, Vinny's great, man. Good player. I mean, kind of one of the best in the world. Better than Rodrigo. Good finisher. Intelligent player. Not sure about the hairstyle, but I like him. I mean, that's all I can say. Like Liverpool have like absolutely no chance of kind of ever getting him, if you know what I mean. It was you in another world. So you're saying I used to run your orphanage in another world. Well, I hope I was nice. I hope I was a nice owner of the orphanage. You're right, Fish. It was offside. You can tell how much attention I'm paying to the game. So I'll change it back to 2-0. A says America shouldn't have been given this tournament. They don't care about football. I hear ya. I hear. I think unfortunately it was kind of done for kind of money reasons, but I think as kind of AFC Dave pointed out earlier, like half the seats are empty. So yeah, it's very much, I think, that they take the game there to kind of improve the popularity. But yeah, if this was done in another country, it would be packed out. AFC Dave says doing it is awful. Zero passion for football. Yeah, I think it's not as busy. There are people there, but I think it's not as busy as if it was in England or in Spain or in anywhere. But it is what it is. I'm a bit jealous because like if tickets are really like $4, that's like £2.50, and like £2.50 for a ticket. Like cinema, like what's cinema cost? What's the cinema ticket these days? Like £20. So for a tenth of that, you go to see a live football game. I'm a bit jealous. Johnny says, all my comments are being top-stopped by Twitch. Oh yeah, I can see. That's not... Twitch keeps saying it is holding your comments for SEX-based terms. That's what it says. It's not me. It's not me doing it. It's Twitch. Seb says, guess what team I support by these clues? Non-European, in the Club World Cup, basically Barcelona. I mean, is it cheating if I search for like Club World Cup teams? Because I don't even know who's in this damn tournament. Non-European. Fish has said Boca. That's Fish's guess. Is it Boca? I could go on your profile and check, but that's cheating. I ain't gonna cheat. Not Boca. He said he's not. He said it's not Boca. Basically Barcelona. River Plate. River Plate. River Plate. I could just cheat and like read out all the oh, when you say basically Barcelona, I think Ion there has said it because of kind of Messi and Suarez. Inter Miami. It could be. I think it's gotta be Inter Miami, right? All of them needs 2 seats each. I'll tell you, when I went to New York like a few months ago, and I was surprised like how big the seats were on the train. But I loved it, to be fair. The seats that we have in the train in England, they're too small. Johnny says you were good. That's good to hear. AFC Dave says, to be fair, the players don't mind it living their life over there in the USA. Yeah, I mean, it's nice place to live, a nice temperature, nice, nice, what's the word? Surroundings. They call it effing soccer. A says, is Drogba the greatest striker you've ever seen? And is Petr Cech the greatest goalkeeper you've ever seen? No, but if it's that important to you, I'm willing to say yes. I'm willing to say yes because it does seem to have a degree of importance. Josh says Bukayo Saka. Really? Saka? Like Ruben Amorim I can understand and Salah I can understand. Saka's a new one. They're basically Barcelona because of... Yeah, correct. Yeah. Inter Miami. So it was a nice guess. Nice guess by Ayan there. Ooh. Thought PSG were going to score. What team does Fish support? Fish support Górnik Zabrze. Because he told me that they did. Fish is from Poland. That's who he supports. And I've been pronouncing it wrong my entire life. And then he told me to Google it a few streams ago. And then I Googled it. And then he told me Google the correct pronunciation. And I think that's a bit closer. Johnny will never go to the US. Yeah, not right now. Right now, it's a bit crazy. Vicario better, says user. Better than Petr Cech? Possibility. Would you take Ousmane Dembele at Liverpool? I mean, it's not going to happen, to be fair. Too expensive for us. Too many wages. Wages will be excessive for us as well. He's a good player. He did have some kind of attitude problems when he's younger, but he was saying in an interview recently that he feels like he's matured significantly. So, from a footballing perspective, maybe, but it's never going to happen. Environment, you were saying it. Yeah, fair enough. But I don't support them because of Messi. It's because I love Miami. I didn't want to pick a European club. Fair enough. You love Miami, therefore you picked the team of Miami. And I'm not a huge football fan. I watch NBA and WWE. I'm from UK. I don't know much about NBA. WWE, I used to watch back in the day. More in like the 2000s, early 2000s. I used to watch some WCW as well. WCW, that was it. That was my jam. To be fair, I didn't have Sky Sports growing up because you had to pay for it. But I had TNT because TNT was free, and I used to watch WCW on TNT. But yeah, familiar with like old WWE, WWF, and WCW. Not so much the new stuff, to be honest. I like Braun Breaker though, but I only like him because he's Scott Steiner's nephew. If he wasn't Scott Steiner's nephew, probably not. CD3 says you getting the new third kit. Lovely. Is that the green one? Is that the green one? I'm waiting to see. I'm waiting to see like what the actual shade of green is, if you know what I mean. Like if it's like a dark green, then yeah, I can. I'm not gonna have any money left, but yeah, I think I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to get that one. But it depends on the shade of green. It depends on the shade of green. Yeah. The thing is though, like all the kits next year, they all look pretty good. I'm gonna end up getting like 9 bloody kits. But yeah, the green one looks good. There's also like a goalkeeper one where it's just like plain black with like white stripes and white lettering and kind of white logo. Even that one looks nice. They all look pretty nice. Sebs says the WWE is on Netflix now, so I'm happy. Oh nice. So I remember they used to have WWE Network, but I guess it's on Netflix now. Johnny's got a question for Sebs. Who's your favorite wrestler, Sebs? There's a question for you right there. Who is your favorite wrestler? And past and present, I guess. I'm gonna answer from my perspective. My favorite wrestler is Kane. I love Kane. We really need a new centre back, brother. Konate and Gomez injury prone. Constant talk shit. I'm with you. I want a centre back. And I'm hoping I'm hoping the club make it a priority. I think the first priority is probably a striker. So if we say right back is sorted, if we say left back is sorted from Kirke's perspective, I think next to look for a striker and then hopefully a centre back after that. Fingers crossed. Iron says Virgil. I mean, like a veteran centre back, who's happy to be on the bench, potentially, but not too much of a veteran, because then they might be a bit too slow. High 7 says 2-1. Why you change it? Apparently it was a disallowed. It was a disallowed goal, so I've had to change it back to 2-0. CD3 says, who do you want to win the finals? Pacers for me. That might be a question for Sebs. That might be like an NBA. Is that NBA? Is Pacers NBA? Possibly. Seb's favorite is Seth Rollins. Fair enough. Which version of Kane? Oh, the original version of Kane. When he turned up and he pulled the door off the Hell in a Cell, and Undertaker was looking at him like, that's the best Kane. Like that. I like the later Kanes as well. But that original Kane, that's like the coolest thing I've ever seen from a wrestling perspective. And like Ministry Undertaker is pretty cool as well. High 7 says Johnny, hello from TikTok. There you go, Johnny. Hello from High 7. Freya says, if Liverpool wasn't a team, who would you support? Well, since you support Arsenal, Freya, I'd have to say Arsenal. Harry Kane. Johnny is saying, why is Twitch blocking what I'm saying? And then Johnny's saying, I just wrote CUM. Well, that's probably why. It's not me blocking it. It's Twitch's auto-filter thing. Ches says, shout out. Yes, shout out to Ches. Kane, yeah. Johnny's favorite is AJ Styles. Okay. TNA. He's the one from TNA. I like Sting as well. Sting There's a common theme here. I like all the creepy wrestlers. I like Undertaker. I like Kane. I like Sting. Which other wrestlers back in the day? I think those are the main ones, really. Johnny says hi. AM says OTC. Is that over the counter medicine or is that another wrestler? Boogeyman. Boogeyman was a bit after my time, but he's the one that says like, "I'm the Boogeyman and I'm coming to get you." I've seen on YouTube clips. He's pretty funny. Where like they'll open like a door and he's in there and he's like drooling from the mouth. Yeah, like from when I watched it, that's like after, but like I've seen it on YouTube. It's pretty funny. AM says Roman Reigns. Yeah, after my time. Like I know who he is. But yeah, fair enough. He's got the look. He's very athletic. Yeah, Shawn Michaels is good. But in the whole Shawn Michaels kind of Bret Hart thing, I'd say I'd more. I related more to kind of Bret Hart. I'd say, to be fair. It's not over the counter medicine. It's a WWE thing. Fair enough. I don't know. I'm like OTC. Is someone getting medicine over the counter? I don't know. But it's a WWE thing. Fair enough. Like a wrestler or a group maybe. Goldberg was pretty good. Yeah, Goldberg was pretty good. I appreciate he injured everyone, but he was yeah, it was pretty good. When I used to watch WCW, like Goldberg was on it, Hollywood Hogan was on it, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, NWO. I'm trying to cast my mind back. Who else was there? Disco Inferno. Does anyone remember Disco Inferno? Disco Inferno. It was all Vince's fault. Is that the Montreal screw job? Yeah, I've heard it was Vince's fault. But apparently Brett spat in his mouth, spat in his face. So he got his own back. Do you still watch WWE? Not really. No. Like I have some sort of awareness. Like you'll see clips on YouTube, we see clips on Twitter, but I don't like watch it kind of. But like if I see it on YouTube, I'll watch a clip. What about women in WWE? I have to say Liv Morgan. I don't know who Liv Morgan is. I will Google her. Trish Stratus, Lita, Sable, Tori Wilson, and the DX Tori. I don't know who Liv Morgan is. Something. Should I Google this on like private window or should be fine. Oh, is this like a current wrestler? She looks a bit like Trish to a certain degree. AM says Mummy Tiffy time. She's quite popular. He chimed in. David Attenborough, at the age of 99, has unfortunately passed away. Is what I would say if he died. But I appreciate the second half. I appreciate the second half of that sentence where you gave a bit of context. Charlotte Flair, yeah, Ric Flair's daughter, yeah, and I know Ric Flair. I know who Charlotte Flair is. Tiffy time must be a thing. Rhea Ripley is the best women wrestler right now. Again, I don't know who's Rhea Ripley. Is she the best wrestler? I'll take your word for it. Yeah, he chinned him. Yeah, that was right. Brett punched him in the face. Yeah. RB7 says, as a Chelsea fan, why aren't Liverpool in the Club World Cup? They should be. Yeah, they should be. There's some weird ass kind of selection rules for this by the looks for it. To be honest, I'm kind of glad that they're not there. Because it kind of gives them a rest and it lets them kind of recuperate, if you know what I mean. But yeah, they should be there. But I'm weirdly kind of happy they're not. Sebs says, I dare you to search up Liv and Dominic's SummerSlam moment. It's not bad, it's just life. I'll search for it. Liv. I ain't gonna put it on the screen in case there's something effed up. Oh, what, he turned on? Yeah. That's Rey Mysterio's son, isn't it? Are they like going out in real life or something, or what's the deal? Yeah, I know Alexa Bliss. Yeah, Alexa Bliss is cool. Liv is better. Liv and Rhea, Rhea, I think it's Rhea Ripley. I think is like Real Madrid versus Barcelona. Fair enough. Christian says, ciao. How you doing, Christian? Hope you're having a nice weekend. Hope all is good with you. And hope all is good with Inter Milan also. NCFC Joe says, best faction ever is DX. Oh, I'm going to be controversial and say it's not. I'm going to say, like, for me, and again, I think it's dependent on who you watched kind of growing up. Like, I'm not going to be snobby and say it's the Four Horsemen kind of thing. But for me, it's the NWO. But that's because that's the one that I watched. Because that's the channel that I had growing up. It was WCW channel. But DX is a good shout, to be fair. Search up Charlotte Flair. She's a great wrestler. Yeah, I'm aware of her. She's Ric Flair's daughter. She's quite tall. I know that one. She's quite good. Christian doing well. Good to hear, Christian. Good to hear. Yeah, I'm more familiar with like Trish. There was Trish Stratus, Lita, Jacqueline, Tori Wilson, the other Tori, Sable. Who else? Stacy Keibler. I remember Stacy Keibler. She was WCW first as well. I was gonna say Mae Young, but I do remember. I don't obviously remember when she was wrestling, but I remember her. Christian says Gattuso news. CT Italio Nazionale. Yeah, is he becoming the He's becoming the Italy national team coach, isn't he, Gattuso? Yeah, if you see this here. Official. Gennaro Gattuso has been appointed as Italy's new national team head coach. Very nice. How do you feel about that? Good appointment or bad appointment? Yes. I mean, hopefully it's good. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Best tag team is probably Hardy Boys or New Age Outlaws. Yeah, Hardy Boys are here, yeah. Edge and Christian. Who else do I remember? Outsiders. Kevin Nash, Scott Hall. But Hardy Boys is a good shout. Lita and Edge was so PG. If you know, you know. I do know. I didn't watch it at the time, and again, I saw this on YouTube, and I was like, damn, that's a bit risque for TV. But fair enough. Apparently, she was going out with Matt Hardy, and then something effed up happened. Solot just missed the sitter. Sums up this entire competition so far. It does, and the fact that we're talking about wrestling, it also sums up this competition. I can see Atletico Madrid have a little red, have like a little red, have a little red square above them. Does that mean someone's been sent off? Should be good, Christian. It should be good. I think Italy needed some sort of change, so let's hope this is a positive change for Italy. Has Gattuso has he managed anyone before, or is this his first job, his first national team job? Seb says it's actually making me laugh that we're talking about wrestling in a football stream. It's great. It is good. Yeah, these my streams have a tendency to always go off topic, but I don't care. I think one a few weeks ago, it was some sort of football match, but we spent the most time talking about cooking and like what food people like cooking, and like someone was giving tips for like what kind of pasta sauce they like making, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try that out. It was Liverpool Goals TV actually, who was here earlier. He was giving his tips. Is that Italy downfall? Yeah, they're not doing too great at the moment, but I hope they come back. Is that Ruben Amorim? But I'm trying to read what the name is. Is that Iram? I'm trying to read the Arabic, but I might be wrong. Iram, is that Ruben Amorim? It's not, but I appreciate the compliment because I think Ruben Amorim, for a guy, you could do worse, innit? I think he looks. I mean, compare how Ruben Amorim looks to most managers. As I was saying earlier, provided I don't get called Ange Postecoglou, I'm happy. Freya says, what national team do you support? To be honest, I'm not particularly into national team football so much. I tend to just support like whatever national team has the most Liverpool players in it. So currently it would be Netherlands, because Netherlands have got Frimpong, Netherlands have got Van Dijk, Netherlands have got Gakpo, Netherlands have got Gravenberch. So right now it'd be Netherlands, but back in the day it used to be Spain. It's just whoever's got the most Liverpool players. Christian says that Gattuso's okay, but players is not good. Players is not good. Yeah, I hear ya. Ooh, but that guy's good. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. Fuck. What we're done. Trying to update the score, man. I'm clicking on the timer by accident. Yeah, as I was saying, let's hope Italy gets some decent young players through, and tournaments are a bit weird, kind of when they don't have tournaments are a bit weird when they don't have kind of Italy in it. Did you hear about the Iran and UK thing? There might be a war. Yeah, I saw. Let's hope to get that. Let's hope to get that sorted. Man United is cooked, says SR7. Indeed, they are. High 7 says, so you don't support England? Not in football. In other sports that I watch, I do. So I watch quite a few other sports, and I tend to always support England. I think the trouble with football is I despise so many of the individual players who play for other teams. I can't bring myself to do it. Sebs says, I'm from the UK, but I'm really different because I enjoy watching US sports. Do you watch any other US sports? Do you like watching I like watching MMA. Do you watch MMA? Like Strongman, World's Strongest Man. That's pretty good. I watch all of that. I've seen that live. But yeah, like quite a few. Watch Inter Miami more than Champions League. Fair enough. Sonny is here. Johnny will be happy to know. Says Italy's one of the biggest fall from grace story in football, having won 4 World Cup, and now it looks like they'll never get to the World Cup final. Also, Club World Cup sucks. Club World Cup does suck, which is why we spent the last half an hour talking about wrestling. But I hope Italy come back. It's weird. It's weird not having Italy in a competition. Old school candy top, I like it. Appreciate that. Cover 1986. Appreciate the kind words. I like this top as well. Quite a few people don't seem to like this one, but I'm glad some people do. It's just another glorified friendly created to only destroy football and the players' knees. Yeah, this is all about money. Like this entire thing that we're seeing. These players have done a full season. They've won a Champions League, and you're making them run around in the outside kind of heat now. It's pretty crazy. It's all about money. Christian said, traduction, please, which is translation. Christian speaks Italian. So I will translate it. See, these are the extents that I go to. What do I say? Where's the Italian man? I'll say what I was saying. Which is saying, I was saying, I hope Italy come back or become good again. So, dicevo, spero che l'Italia torni ad essere buona. So I was saying, I hope Italy become good again. Fingers crossed. Seb says, what sports do you watch? Watch Strongman, which is like World's Strongest Man. I love that. Watch MMA. Watch boxing. Watch football. Probably some others that I'm forgetting. But those are the main ones. Kava says that the Wirtz Shirky debate is ridiculous. Thoughts? Wirtz is clear. Yeah, Wirtz is clear. I was going to say Wirtz is clearly clear, and then I kind of messed my words up. But yeah, Wirtz is clearly... Wirtz is clearly better. I'll say clearly better, because clearly clear, like my mouth can't get that out properly. But yeah, Wirtz is the better player, as far as I'm concerned. Better passer, more intelligent, better dribbler. He's better all around. I think Shirky is good, but I think Wirtz is at the very least a level above. So I'm happy with how this has kind of worked out. Sebs watches basketball, UFC, very nice. So yeah, in UFC, I always love the English fighters. Love Tom Aspinall. Love Dan Hardy, if anyone remembers him. Love Michael the Count Bisping, if anyone remembers him. But from a football perspective, I don't like these guys. But yeah, from a UFC perspective, they're all pretty great. Hockey and American football, very nice. Good morning 83 says, do you know Russian football players? I was gonna say Andrei Arlovsky, but he's a fighter. Arshavin, Andrei Arshavin, he's Russian, I think. Harry says, hello, how are you? I'm good, mate. I'm good, not bad for 10 o'clock on a Sunday. But how are you doing? Hope you're well. Hope you had a nice weekend. Hope you managed to play some football this weekend. Sunny says, I only support Argentina and Spain in any tournament. And FU Portugal. I wonder why. I wonder why that's an FU to Portugal. I wonder why. Is it because of a certain striker that or certain centre forward that they have? Fish's top 10 hottest footballers. I can tell this makes no sense, but it is what it is. In position 1, I'm sad. In position 2, Fish, which is himself. I mean, you've gone up to number 15. I thought this was a top 10 list. 3 is Ninehog, Daily Blind, De Late, Kvaradana. 8 is Wissa. 9 is Mbuemo. 10, I don't know what that says. 11 is Toilet. 12 is himself. 13 is Chocolate, 14 is Dilara, and 15 is me. Well, I'm glad to have made your hottest footballers list, Fish. I'm glad to be there at the very end. Christian says, perfect. You speak Italy beautiful. I try. I did use Google to help me. Grazie. Good morning, 83 says, bro, you know Andrei Arshavin? I do know Andrei Arshavin. He used to play for Arsenal, didn't he? Or to be more specific, Da. Wirtz got voted Player of the Year in Germany, and most of the man of the match. Fucking, I can't even get basic words out right. Man of the Match awards in last year's Champions League. Yeah, I mean, again, people are saying that so and so's better. People are saying he's crap. People that are calling him squirts are. It's just jealousy, isn't it? It's just jealousy and kind of insecurity. I think we've got the right player, and I think he'll thrive in this team. Sonny says, but Shirky's a better deal than Wirtz. Like, even a die-hard Liverpool fan will say, having paid more than Barker paid for Coutinho gives me a nightmare. It would give you a nightmare, but that's not what happened. So, the fee for Wirtz was rumoured to be 150 million. It's actually 85 million. It's 85 million plus 12 million in add-ons. So it's actually significantly less than kind of what was rumored. And even last week when kind of the 150 million pound was being talked about, I was like, that's crazy. But 85 plus 10, 15, I think that's worth it. Italy is good numbers one in Tactica and defense difesa. Right, so you're saying that they're good in one aspect, but they're not good in the other aspect. I hear you. Harry says, I'm all right, thanks. Sadly, not really football, just football on the VR. How does that work? Like on a VR headset, like Oculus type of thing. How does that work? Are you watching football or are you playing football? You must be playing with a controller, right? I think. You have to explain that. Probably FU Spain because of the Nations League final. Possibly. Oh yeah, Portugal, yeah. 31, Spionero Golubino. Yeah, this is the one. This is the parrot that you told me to Google, isn't it? Salah is player Liverpool or is in exit. Oh God, someone's just scoring a penalty. I don't know who that guy is, but I like his hair. Salah is a player Liverpool or is in exit? He's player Liverpool. He has signed a new contract. Salah signed a new contract with Liverpool. He has signed a new contract. Ha firmato un nuevo contrato. Signed a new contract. How much did they pay? 85 million plus about 15 million on add-ons. Also, Gyökeres apparently only wants Arsenal, and Sesko is being linked with Arsenal. If it happens, will the number 2 team win football? I don't think so. I think the number 2 team, I think they are bottlenecked by their manager, who puts every player behind the ball as soon as they go ahead. If Arsenal were to get rid of Arteta and, bring in a manager who has a level of experience to the point where this isn't his first job, like they did with Arteta, and then I'd be concerned. Sebs and Sonny say 4-0. Yeah, the penalty went in at the end. I mean, for a game with 4 goals, it's pretty boring, I can't lie. Harry says, yeah, it's an app on my VR. Playing on this game called VR FC. I'll post it on my YouTube next time I play. Nice. I will check it out. I've got a VR headset. I've got like a Meta Quest 3 or something. But yeah, I'm curious how this football game works. But yeah, once you post it, I'll have a look. Christian says, okay. Sonny says, I love Argentina and Spain only because of the Barcelona DNA. I know that Spain also has a Real Madrid player, but let's be honest, the prime Spain was also prime Barca, and there is Messi. I hear ya. And do you also kind of hate Portugal because of a certain Cristiano that have up front? Hamza speaking facts. I've never seen more facts spoken in 3 words. It's like, how can you use so little words but say something that's so accurate and like so to the point? It's quite impressive. United, they are god awful. But yeah, hope you're doing well, Hamza. Hope you had a nice weekend. And yeah, United are shit. I got a quest too. Are your feet? What? Your feet are your hands. So you're playing football like this, and you can put. I need to see this. I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna Google it. I'm gonna wait for you to post the video, and then I'm gonna try and get a better understanding of how this works. That's like your feet. Your feet are your hands. So like you're scoring like this, I think. Also, FU Portugal and Poop Ronaldo shit. Give me another 2 pie Ronaldo. Yeah, I'm sure Ronaldo appreciates how much you appreciate him. Harry says KK. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I will check that out when you post it. I won't play the game. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just curious to see how it looks. But yeah, this game is over and done with. Unfortunately, the weekend is over and done with. Unfortunately, I've got work tomorrow. Unfortunately, I don't want to go. Unfortunately, I've got no choice. But anyway, good game, entertaining game. I will probably be back tomorrow for Chelsea versus somebody. Chelsea versus Los Angeles. Is that Los Angeles Galaxy or is that some other form of Los Angeles? Who knows? But anyway, I shall be back tomorrow, 8 o'clock, where we will talk about football, but in reality, probably wrestling and probably other things. But anyway, take care, guys. Hope you have a nice evening. All the best. See you soon.